Look, God was not playing when He told me that 2022 was going to be the hardest year of my life, because it definitely was. Happy 2023. It is a new year. If you are new here, sis, my goal is to help you become the woman that God is calling you to be. So if you know that that is a goal of yours, then make sure you click on that subscribe button. You follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok, and you turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future posts. So as you can tell from today's title, I'm going to share a little bit about how my 2022 was, because I'm not going to say that it almost took your girl out, but let's just say it was really, really, really rough, and I'm just glad that it's over. So first thing I want to say is that every year I do a social media fast, as well as just fasting to get clarity and direction and just revelation from God as to what He wants for me to know for the next year. So in 2021, I did that, and God literally told me 2022 is going to be the hardest year of your life, but it'll be the most rewarding. Even though it was extremely hard, there were some very powerful lessons that I've learned, and that is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So for starters, I am currently, well, by the time this will be uploaded, I won't be on the fast, but I'm currently on a fast, and I've gotten revelation from God. And one of the things that He wants me to do in 2023 is to be more transparent and to be more vulnerable and to share more about me. So that is what you guys can expect to see a little bit more on this channel. Which brings me to lesson number 1, which is the fact that I'm not vulnerable, and sometimes I do not share exactly how I feel about certain things, causes people to get the wrong assumptions, or they feel as though I do not care about them. And this was something that God literally showed me through my friends. So a little backstory about me. I'm the only child, and looking back as I reflect on these lessons, I realized that I was always very quiet, always very shy. I never really expressed myself too much growing up. So as I grew older, I just got comfortable with just giving people like surface level answers. And I'm going to give you guys an example, because this is what God showed me. So I used to, because we're growing now, but I used to be the type, if my friends invited me out, let's say to go to dinner or to eat or whatever the case was, if I didn't want to go for whatever reason, maybe I'm having a mental day, maybe I just like to be at home because I am a homebody. I prefer to be at home. But anyways, so if I felt like I didn't want to go, I wouldn't give the reasoning as to why I don't want to go. I would just say, sorry, I can't make it tonight. As I'm hearing myself say this, I can see how that could be a little bit cold. Lord, thank you for the revelation. Okay, thank you for changing your girl, because that's not okay. Oh my gosh. Because honestly, back then, I really didn't see that as a problem until I started to see it from the outside in. Like me, I'm just saying, hey, I can't make it. I'm like, that doesn't mean that I don't care about you. That doesn't mean that I don't want to spend time with you. But the fact that I wasn't explaining that led people to think the opposite. And another thing that made me realize that this is a huge problem is because I was explaining the situation to my friend, and I told her, like, I just told him that I couldn't make it that night. And that was pretty much it. I would just say, sorry, I can't make it tonight. And that would be it. And she was like, that's all you said? And I'm like, yeah, what's the problem with that? And then, she politely explained to me how that could seem as though I really didn't want to be with them, or as if I felt like, I really didn't care about them. And she explained to me a better way of saying that, which would be, hey guys, thank you so much for the invite. I would love to go out with you, but today I'm just not feeling it. I just want to stay at home. And when she gave me that example, I was like, you know what? That does sound better. That actually sounds a lot better than what I said. Oh my God, y'all. Like, you can clearly see those are two different responses. The first one was just straight to the point, surface level. I can't make it tonight. The other one explained why. It explained how I felt. So once I truly understood how I was coming off to people, I started to reflect on other situations that I've been in and how I responded. And that was a hard pill to swallow, because one of the things that I strive to do is to never make people feel as though I do not care about them, because that's how people used to view me before I started my self-love journey. So I never want people to feel that way. So to hear that people are still feeling that way sometimes about me, and I'm trying so hard for them not to, was a slap in the face that I needed. And with that example, it just showed me how important it is to nurture your friendships. Like, I need to stop wanting to be at home all the time and telling my friends, sorry, I can't make it. Because what's that's going to do? That's going to make them feel comfortable without me. Or they may not invite me places anymore because they know Stephanie's going to say no. So the big lesson that I learned is to be more transparent and also nurture my friendships and get out of my comfort zone and really spend time with my friends. Because it's not like I don't want to spend time with them. I'm just so used to being at home sometimes that I would rather just do that. But God is showing me, Stephanie, you have friends. You need to nurture them friendships, okay? If not, you're not going to have no friends. And I prefer to have friends, so we're going to listen to God and we're going to nurture our friendships. Okay, so moving on to lesson 2. Now, if you are new to my channel, you probably do not know that in addition to me running the C.G.G.A network, I also work with my mom. We have opened up a restaurant/sandwich shop in 2021, and I've been working with her ever since. Within working with my mom, I have definitely learned some hard lessons. First off, I want to say that I have a great relationship with my mom, but I did not realize how different your relationship becomes when you add business into it. And the best way I can describe it is a marriage. Even though I've never been married, I can literally understand what it means to be in a marriage after being in a business partnership with my mom. And there's a lot of similarities when you're in a marriage and when you're with a business partner that you are with every single day. You have to learn how to deal with each other's differences. You have to learn to understand each other on a different level. Like, I understand my mom as my mom, and she understands me as her daughter. But it was very difficult for us to get to understand each other when it comes to how we handle business. Because what I've learned is that me and my mom handle business differently. Even though we are pretty much a perfectionist, we handle business differently. And those differences caused a lot of issues. The fact that this is a completely new business, we don't have any experience running a restaurant, did not help. Because now you have to deal with the differences between the two personalities. Then you have to work through all of the trial and error. And then you have to get through each day. Like this year we worked 12-hour shifts 6 days a week. So all I really knew was my mom. And I will say, even though it was hard, I learned a lot about what it means to be in partnership with someone who is different than you. And I thank God for that, because, you know, when I read up on how to have a successful marriage and things like that, I see that understanding how to effectively communicate with people who are different than you is very important when it comes to having a successful marriage. So really, The relationship that I have with my mom as business partners, I believe really helped me and prepared me for the future marriage that God has for me. I honestly can go on and on and on about the challenges within running a restaurant, but I would just say that I have been challenged mentally, emotionally, and physically. I don't know how many times I've cut myself. I don't know how many times I've burned myself. Literally, it will challenge you. I've never worked in like a high risk or fast paced industry, and the restaurant industry is definitely that. I have gone days where I was not able to eat because, and that's another lesson. Through working with the restaurant, I have learned what it truly means to serve. Some days I'm not able to eat when I want to eat because I am serving people. Also, running a restaurant, not just working in the food industry, but running it has made me into such a selfless person. So as I'm thinking about these lessons, these were actually really good lessons. It was just hard to go through. So the final thing that I've learned in 2022 is that even though sacrifices are hard to make sometimes, they are meant to grow you and to make you into a better person. And the biggest sacrifice that I had to make this year, because of my decision to be obedient and open this restaurant with my mom, was to drastically decrease my involvement in my ministry, to the point where I even had to end my membership program, which was so hard for me to do. I literally started my membership program in 2020, and I've seen it grew, and it was growing beautifully. And then God called me to work with my mom and open up the restaurant. And at first it was okay because we weren't working all of these long hours. We were just working 10 to 6. But once 2022 came, we decided to extend our hours, and I did not realize not only how much time I would not have anymore, but also the fact that that takes a toll on you. Working 12-hour shifts 6 days a week drains you. And at the same time, trying to run my ministry and be involved in my membership program, it was just too much, and I had to end it. And I was so sad because I don't like ending things. I felt like I let my ministry down. I felt like I let my members down. And what I had to remember was that, or what God had to show me was that your business goes through seasons. And in the beginning, the season was for me to have a membership program. But right now, this season is to help my mom build up her restaurant. And in the meantime, take the C.G.G.A network in a different direction. But before I got that revelation, it was extremely hard for me to completely stop something that I worked so hard to build. But I just had to remember that God is ultimately the CEO, and I am just over here taking whatever he's telling me to do and sharing the message that he wants me to share. So if God is okay with me ending the membership, then it's okay with me. And you know, after I ended my membership, God started to shift my perspective on what the C.G.G.A network can do without the membership. And that's when he led me to start this YouTube channel and to show up as the woman that he is calling me to be. Because with everything that was going on in 2022, it was extremely easy for me to let myself go, for me to get caught up in the restaurant, for me to not really show up as my best self. It was easy to not really spend time with God. It was easy to not show up on social media. It was easy to say, forget YouTube for this week. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to lie. I did have days like that. But I just thank God that he never allowed me to stay there. Throughout this year, God continued to push me further and further into my purpose. The things that God has shown me that He wants to do with the C.G.G.A network in 2023 and this year, all I'm gonna say is y'all not ready. It is about to be a whole new vibe. So that concludes today's video. I want to hear from you guys now because you guys have been all up in my business. So now it's your turn. Let me know one thing that you've learned in 2022, whether it's just like a life lesson or something personally that you learned about yourself. Let me know in the comments because I know I'm not the only one that had to have learned something in 2022. So let me know below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, sis, definitely make sure you click on that subscribe button because like I said, things are about to be shaken up within the C.G.G.A network, so I do not want you to miss out. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.